34.
The wind is really picking up. You can see it out on the water, and they will feel it particularly coming through where the channel opens under the bridge. But it also makes the starts more difficult.
At the starts, Michelle, if you would, for folks that might be new to the cruise situation here, what is the reference to sculling, and how do they work that to keep their boat straight down the course?
The challenge for the starter is to get all the bows of the boats lined up so that they can all take off with a fair start. In order to do that and keep the boat pointing down the course, you need to be able to turn the bow of the boat without it pulling forward. So one person hands their oar back to the person behind them and sits there with great faith that the person behind them will give them their oar back before the word go. That lets them scull the boat literally sideways so that it just pushes the bow around, keeps it pointed down the course without pulling the boat too far forward and making them have to restart the alignment.
I would suspect that if they have an opportunity to be successful of that, they might become commercial airline pilots, because every now and then when you see an airliner drop down into a crosswind to try to land, that's a technique that I'm sure that these young people, with their sculling and keeping the nose of their shell down the course, probably have a great deal of experience in.
It's like having your own little sideways engine. It's
way enough.
For a rower, it's an act of faith akin to falling backwards into someone's hands with your eyes closed. So what you're hearing is the starter instructing the boats to scull in order to keep pointed down the course while he gets the bows lined up.
Together, gentlemen, together.
And I would suspect that that is going to be doubly difficult with novice and junior crews.
Particularly novice crews, yes.
Way enough. Stake boat holder, reach out and grab them.
So the stake boat.
2, hand your oar to bow. Bow, scull it around.
There's a line of boats tied up at the start, and they hold the stern end of each of the racing shells and pull them back and forwards because the racing shells are different lengths, and so this lets them align the bows.
Shoot, that's not working. Yes!
San Diego, you need to do that. San Diego, overcompensate. Keep coming.
While they are struggling to get this started, we'll mention that the women's U.S. national team, some of the best rowers in the world, are taking photos and signing autographs at the U.S. rowing tent. The U.S. rowing tent is across from the Jumbotron, so if you would like to be involved in that particular activity, that is going on right now as we're trying to get race number 34, the men's junior lightweight B, and this is the first time we've had a little bit of difficulty with wind, as it has picked up throughout the length of our course.
Where experience plays into this is the coxswain needs to know how far to overcompensate, turn the boat almost off course in order to drift back at the right time and not drift too far. And that depends on how far everybody else is drifting and how the starter's working. So it's a little bit magic and a little bit experience.
Almost like trying to time your start on a sailing race where you have to get yourself around just at the right time to be able to hit that start line at an appropriate time.
Very much like that.
Marina, warning, late to start. SDRC.
Okay,
warning,
this is event number 34, the Junior Men's Lightweight Heat B. Lane 1, Long Beach Junior Crew. Lane 2, Marina Aquatic Center. Lane 3, Newport Aquatic Center. Lane 4, Everett Rowing Association. Lane 6, San Diego Rowing Club. And Lane 7, Belen Jesuit Preparatory Crew. Again, the crews are sculling Novices are positioning their bows up the course, trying to deal with this quartering wind coming through the South Ingram Street Bridge.
Video 2, you got to back it down. They can't see me.
Video 2, back it down, they can't see us.
We're getting close. Liner's flag is up.
Yeah, but Long Beach Juniors, Marina,
Starters
Newport,
announcing the crews.
Everett, SDRC, Belen Jesuit Prep. Attention, go.
Here we go. We have a start. Event number 34 at the men's junior lightweight heat B. All crews out cleanly. And at the start, first 100 meters, it's in lane 4, Everett Rowing Association with the early lead. Followed closely in lane 3 by Newport Aquatic Center. Then it's out in lane 7, Belen Jesuit Preparatory Crew. Followed in lane 1, Long Beach Junior Crew. And it's lane 2, Marina Aquatic Center, and then lane 6, San Diego Rowing Club. All crews through the 100-meter breakage. Settling into their race cadence. And it's still lane 4, Everett Rowing Association with about a 6-seat lead over lane 3, Newport Aquatic Center with about a 2-seat lead. Lane 1, the Long Beach Junior Crew. Neck and neck with lane 7, Belen Jesuit Preparatory Crew. And Marina Aquatic Center, San Diego Rowing Club. And at a 500 meter, your leader is Everett Rowing Association. Then it's lane 7, Belen Jesuit. Lane 3, Newport Aquatic Center. Lane 1, Long Beach Junior Crew. Marina Aquatic Center and San Diego Rowing Club.
Through the first 500 meters of our race here, the men's junior lightweight. This is the second of 2 in this particular category, and we'll look forward to having 3 of these crews move forward to the grand final. Looking at lane assignments, Long Beach Junior Crew is in lane number 1, Marina Aquatic Center in lane 2, Newport Aquatic Center, lane number 3. Our current leader, Everett Rowing Association, is in lane number 4. San Diego Rowing Club is in lane 5. We have no one rowing out of lane 6, a late scratch from the Baja California State rowing team. And out in lane number 7 and currently challenging for the lead is Belen Jesuit Preparatory Crew. And these young people come our way from Miami, Florida.
As we heard at the start, the wind is starting to play a significant role in the racing today. In addition to judging whether a boat 5 lanes away from you is creeping up on you or not, the coxswains have a little more work to keep the boat straight going down the course. Particularly as the wind is not constant, it's been gusting, and so you can be fine and then all of a sudden just get your bow knocked off course, and it'll take 2 or 3 strokes to get centered back in your lane, and at the end of the race that can make a difference.
They're coming up on that particular situation right now as they're coming into that open area under the Ingram Street Bridge. And so the coxswain are having to concentrate on more than one thing at one time right now. Everett and Belen, Everett in 4, Belen on the far outside lane in 7 are the 2 that are wrestling each other at the moment for that top spot. Newport Aquatic Center and the Long Beach Juniors Aquatic Center in lane 3, and the juniors along the shoreline in lane 1 are working out for the 3rd and 4th position, with Marina and San Diego Rowing Club is trailing. It appears that they're weathering that storm, and that of course is just a euphemism. It isn't blowing that hard, but it certainly hits you all of a sudden. And now finally they're beginning to get into the more protected area of Crown Point Shores here. And we still have the middle of the race course, Everett, and then all the way on their outside, Belen, going after each other. A little bit of open water back to Newport now, and along the shoreline, Long Beach juniors, with Marina and San Diego Rowing trailing. Looks like Belen took a little bit of a detour. They're moving out to the outer edge of their lane and kind of taking the long way around, and that cost them a little bit of ground as Everett began to move up a bit. Belen on the far outside, and then to the shore side of Everett is Newport Aquatic Center, and they've closed down a little bit of ground here. They seem to lose touch there for a little while, but they've begun to come back, as has Long Beach Junior Crew, as they picked up the stroke a little bit right around the 500-meter to go mark. And then we have Marina and San Diego Rowing. San Diego Rowing has moved up on Marina, albeit at the back of the pack. Sometimes it's just nice to win a position, especially if you're struggling a little bit. As along the shoreline, Long Beach juniors, having kicked it up at about 500 meters to go, have begun to really get into this race. This is Long Beach along the shoreline. Newport has now picked it up, and Everett is beginning to fall back to the pack as Belen is on the run on the outside. All these crews seem to jump on it just outside the 1,500-meter mark, as this is Long Beach coming along. They can't have been coming out of nowhere. It is Long Beach. Then Newport is closing down on Everett. It looks like Newport has moved ahead of Everett with Long Beach juniors along the shoreline. Long Beach in the yellow and white with the white shell is in the lead now, as they took over right about 500 meters to go. Unofficially, that's Long Beach. Newport Aquatic Center on the far outside. Belen hangs on, and Everett, although they were leading much of the way, has tailed off to the 4th position. And then trailing will be Marina and San Diego Rowing Club. A very impressive move. Just about 500 meters to go by Long Beach, and they got the momentum.
They took advantage of the slightly more protected water in lane 1 and made hay while the sun shined, metaphorically speaking.
Very impressive move. They were even beginning to trail back a little bit as our finish up with Marina and San Diego Rowing on this particular race. Very impressive move by Long Beach.
Okay, event number 35.